Stock market still remains up about 260 points in the plus column. I normally don't run these kinds of stories, but we will run it. This is being reported this morning in Hamilton, Bermuda by the Royal Gazette, which is in turn citing Associated Press derived statistics. It concerns XL Capital, and the headline is Bermuda-based insurer XL Capital paid out more than $16 million in compensation to the two chief executives that oversaw the company in 2008. Non-executive chairman Brian O'Hara, who served as CEO until April 30th, took home $8.7 million in compensation in 2008, which according to the AP is a 17% increase from the full year's pay he received in 2007. His replacement, Michael McGavick, took home $7.5 million in compensation for the 8 months he served as the Bermuda-based insurer CEO. The increased compensation for XL CEOs came during a year in which shares of XL Capital lost nearly 93% of their value. XL lost $2.6 billion, or $11 a share in 2008, compared with a profit of $206 million, or $1.15 a share in 2007. Despite the struggles of the company, its executives took home more pay than in 2007. O'Hara's salary at least declined 67% to $333,000, as he only served as CEO for a third of the year. His bonus dropped 60% to $600,000. During his first 8 months of work, McGavick received a salary of $666,000, and his bonus totaled $3.5 million. The remainder of his salary came from other compensation and stock options and restricted stock awards. McGavick received $881,956 in other compensation, primarily tied to helping pay for his relocation expenses as he moved to Bermuda to take over as CEO. He also received $2.4 million in stock options and restricted stock awards. So there, I've reported the story, and that's that. I have no comment on it. The hedge funds are in the news. This is being reported on Bloomberg. Hedge funds may cut 20,000 workers worldwide this year, a record 14% of the industry's jobs. This is due to investment losses and the fact that client withdrawals are eroding their fees. The dismissals will come on top of the 10,000 jobs that disappeared last year at the hedge funds. This is all according to estimates by a group called Options Group, an executive search firm. This group said that hedge fund employment peaked at 155,000 all the way back in 2007, and they say it's dropped now to 145,000. About 920 hedge funds, or 12% of all, closed last year. Of the 6,800 single manager funds that still remain, 70% lost money in 2008. This means that they can't resume collecting performance fees until the losses are recouped. Those fees are generally 20% of investment profits. They're the primary source of cash used to pay bonuses. Banks and brokers have fired more than 272,000 workers, or about 6% of their payroll, since mid-2007. We have a picture of the Maytag repairman. We'll bring him up. Probably remember him. He's probably a little glum today, and it's not because he doesn't have any work to do. It's because Maytag and the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission this morning announced a voluntary recall of about 1.6 million refrigerators because of a fire hazard. Maytag, which was bought by Whirlpool Corporation back in 2007, said that the recall affected Maytag, Genair, Amana, Admiral, Magic Chef, Performa, and Crosley brand side-by-side refrigerators. Refrigerators with freezers on the bottom are not included in the recall. The reason for the recall is that an electrical failure in the unit's relay, which is the component that turns on the compressor, can overheat, and 16 reports of property damage have been reported to Maytag as a result of fires. Maytag said the refrigerators were made in the U.S., were sold between 2001, January, and January of 2004. If you have such a refrigerator, you should contact Maytag. And here's a story that really caught my attention, and I'll hopefully be able to convey it to you. China and India are the world's biggest tobacco users, according to new research. It also highlights the increasing concerns about smoking by women in developing countries. Statistics compiled by the American Cancer Society and the World Lung Foundation for the third edition of something called the Tobacco Atlas found that 311 million men in China and 229 million men in India use tobacco. Here's the statistic I found stunning. In China, 14 million women smoke. 311 million men smoke, 14 million women smoke. In India, 229 million men smoke and 12 million women smoke. The discrepancy in these totals just flabbergasted me. I had no idea that the differential was 20 to 30 times higher amongst men. There were 24 million female tobacco users in the United States. The entire study was released in Mumbai at the 14th World Conference on Tobacco or Health. Worldwide, almost 1 billion men and 250 million women use tobacco every day. There's the differential again. About 6 million people will die from tobacco use next year, rising to 7 million by the end of the next decade and 8 million by the year 2030. The study does point out that death rates are rising faster in developing countries. Next year, almost 72% of global tobacco-related deaths will be in what the study's authors called low and middle-income countries. By the year 2030, that figure will jump up to 83%, or about 135 million people. Of particular concern is the increased take-up of smoking by poorer educated men and women in developing countries where female smoking largely has been considered socially unacceptable. The study concludes by saying if the women of the world begin smoking at the same rate as men, it will be an unmitigated global public health disaster. No kidding. If the differential between men and female smokers is that vast, it would be an unmitigated public disaster. That's the factoid for the day. It's still something that has me amazed. Stock market remains up about 262. If we have any other breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. If not, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.